Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen ringing the new year on CNN once again. And this year, the drinking was back. And so were Anderson's famous giggles. He couldn't hold it together when they cut to John Mayer, who was live, by the way, from a cat cafe in Tokyo. Watch.
John, you are in Tokyo,
I can't see
Japan.
Anderson, but I know exactly what he looks like.
Yes, you
I'm in
do.
Tokyo.
Yes, you do. He's gone. He's off with the ferries here.
Other stars took in the new year with family and friends. Oprah kicked off 2024 with her bestie, Gayle King, of course, and actor David Oyelowo. And Madonna, of course, Madonna celebrated the new year with all 6 of her kids and quoted song lyrics in her post by saying, "It's a good life." And finally, Halle Berry, who was 57, shared this sexy photo, and wrote, "Hello, 2024. Okay.
What does that mean?
What is happening
She's
there?
saying hi to the new year.
Woo!
Really?
Wow. Mariah Carey started the new year by posting a pic of her bad side, which apparently is the left side of her face, and she never does that. And check this out. A fan caught Taylor and Travis sharing a New Year's kiss in Kansas City. Oh my gosh, cute. And Vanderpump Rules star Rachel Leviss wrote on Instagram that 2023 was her hardest year yet and vowed to be a better friend to the ones close to her. As we know, she was involved in a cheating scandal involving her friend's boyfriend, Tom Sandoval.
Well, the bar is set low, right? she cheated on her best friend with her best friend's boyfriend, so you can be a better friend just by doing nothing.
Yeah. Well, she did go to treatment for a month or so, or a couple of months.
A month?
Well, she went to a mental health facility, rehab treatment center to try and realize
You don't know that's a bad idea, Sam?
Of course I do. I'm trying to give context to the story. I'm not lending my opinion at all. Are you kidding me? I would never. I've never cheated, and I never.
Oh, you don't even have to say that. You're like an old school samurai. You have a code. You would never do that. Yes.
But do you think she learned her lesson, and does she deserve this second chance?
I wish you would go back on the show. I don't know how many of our viewers watch that show, but I'm a Bravo fan, and I wish you'd go back on the show. She came out with a podcast that tried to tell her side of the story, but I'd like to see the whole cast play it out.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the other stars, though? Like, what you had an opinion on Halle Berry.
Well, look, Halle Berry, shout out from Ohio, Northeast. That's what's up. But I'll just say this. I really like the pictures that Oprah had with David and Gayle, just because they seem like, if I looked at that, I'd be like, they're hanging out like we're hanging out. But with the Mariah Carey, it's like she's looking off into her future. Remember in the 8th grade when you get those pictures taken? It's just like that's not any pose any person has ever made. And I just kind of like a little reality with my photos. It looked a little Photoshoppy to me.
Well, here's a little reality for you. A woman collapsed during the Ryan Seacrest New Year's Rockin' Eve because she was announced as the $1 million Powerball winner.
What?
Take a look at this amazing reaction.
Oh, my.
Number 1, Pamela, you're a millionaire.
She attacked Ryan Seacrest.
Did she slip or did she pass out?
Ryan Seacrest.
Why?
Well, that's what he gets because he lied to that woman.
He did?
He called her a millionaire.
Right, with taxes, Erica. What she really
She never gonna see $1 million.
Right.
Not in this year.
Will you not let Erica bum everybody out to kick the year off?
I'm just saying.
She's right. Erica's realistic.
Advertising.
It's not,
You
Erica.
can't call somebody a millionaire. She's 100,000-aire.
You can
and
call
I'm
somebody
very
anything you
happy for
want.
her.
No, Erica's right. Thank you,
Very
Erica.
happy
Keeping it
for
real.
her.
Keeping it real.
Yes.
Set those
The
expectations.
government got the man in your pocket.
I can see why Ryan got the job over Erica. Well, let's talk taxes before we talk about your big win.
Yeah, Erica would make sure that she met with an accountant.
Like, listen, they saying it's $1 million, but let me actually plug the numbers.
Yeah, and we're like,
Now, before you start thinking about cars and houses, let's talk about how this money can grow.
There you go, Erica. Yes. All right, so we got to talk about Paula Abdul because let me tell you, everyone has an opinion on this story, so we're going to dive in. Paula Abdul has accused former American Idol executive producer Nigel Lythgoe of sexual assault and harassment. Serious allegations. allegations. In court documents, Paula claims Nigel sexually assaulted her while she was a judge on Idol from 2002 to 2009. That's when she was a judge. I don't think the allegations were ongoing. If they were, please someone tell me in my ear. She claims he shoved her against an elevator wall and grabbed her private parts and breasts and shoved his tongue down her throat. Now, the document also says in 2015, Nigel forced himself on her and tried to kiss her after Paula went to his home for what she thought was a dinner to discuss her career. Now, during that time, Paula was on his other show, So You Think You Can Dance, also as a judge. Paula claims she remained silent all these years because she was afraid he could break her career. Now, in a statement, Nigel called the allegations false, quote unquote, and deeply offensive, and said he will fight this, quote, appalling smear, unquote, with everything he has. What do we think of these claims? These are heavy claims.
I mean, they are heavy claims, and I think
and it was the two incidents. It wasn't ongoing throughout her entire. Just want to give context.
Yeah, I don't think that we should ever be desensitized to these stories, and I feel like when the floodgates opened for people to feel safe to tell their truth, people became desensitized to it. And I'll just say very openly that when I first started going back to therapy after we started the show, it was because of all of the stories surrounding sexual assault. And like, as a survivor, I really started to think about how we're having these conversations and what I'm saying. Am I saying it because of my experiences, or am I saying it because I think that this is just and right? And now I'm very careful about what I say in response, because I'm projecting so much of my own experiences onto these things. So I would say in Paula's situation, it's important for her to tell her truth. That's very cathartic. And in Nigel's situation, it's important for him to defend himself if that's what he needs to do.
And if he does defend himself, do you think the court of public opinion is going to allow him to?
It depends who hears it again. They've already heard this allegation. If they don't hear that he's cleared, they're always going to have that stain on his reputation. I respect what you're saying, and I love what you just said, because it was so honest. I'm going to be more honest in 2024 as well. My answer should be, hey, on the television as a host, let's believe all women. And let's just move on to the next story. We did that for 3 years. I'm over that. Let's hear Nigel's side of the story as well. Paula Abdul isn't perfectly clean in her past, and I'm not saying I don't not believe her, but I'm saying let's hear both sides in 2024 before we automatically stain this man's character for the rest of his life, because he has a legacy that he left behind, and if this is his last thing that he's maybe done, that legacy's gone. So let's try to look at both sides. Of course, believe the women, but let's look at both sides as well.
I think that's very
fair. Word of the day here in 2024 is discernment. We don't Aziz Ansari it. We don't rush in as the public and say, you should go to hell. We listen, we understand. There's issues with Paula. I'd love to hear Nigel's point, but we don't rush in and make a determination. In fact, I think in 2024, the court of public opinion is on hold until we get more details. I'm hoping we've evolved to that level.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I guess we'll have to wait and see.